Welcome to ChuggieBets. It's the NFL Divisional Playoff round. I got myself here, Al. I got Danny next to me. Sunshine over there. We're going to hit you with this week's picks, recap the wild card weekend. But first, let's chug a beer. Cheers.
Who's ready to chug some beers and make some bad gambling picks? Welcome to ChuggieBets.
It's my favorite part.
Me too. So Matt and Andy can't be here tonight. I think they've got other things going on. Matt, hope you feel better. Let's see. Where should we kick this thing off with? Let's see.
Andy, stop being such a good dad.
Yeah, what's up with that? Don't you know you need to make room for your degenerate friends? Your degenerate hobby? So we've got a few things we want to do. We've got to do our compliment sandwiches for the teams that have been eliminated. We've got to recap these games. So maybe let's start by recapping these games from the super wild card weekend, and then we can memorialize those teams afterwards before we get into some hot takes. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
So the first game of the wild card weekend was the 49ers. What the hell?
It was 49ers Seahawks. I can still see you. I don't know if you can see me.
Sorry,
now.
that was bad. Fucking stupid. Seahawks and 49ers. That game was not interesting. We were on the golf course getting smashed, so didn't watch much of that one.
Well,
we got pretty well.
I don't know if you remember, Al, but we got to the bar in like the first quarter.
We did.
And so the 49ers were up like I think 16-0 around that time. And I placed a couple of bets that I thought were for the full game because I was hammered, but my app was still in first half mode because I was looking at first half bets in the morning. And luckily, I was in first half mode because I took the Seahawks at plus 400 to win the half, and the Seahawks at plus 9 points or something in the first half, and they both hit, and they would not have hit in the game.
I'm pretty sure they scored like in the last minute of the half too to be able to cover those bets. So
yes, we were watching, and it was great. And I was like, "Oh, this will be great. This will be great for the second half." I wasn't even like super excited that I was winning like tons of money because it was plus 400 bet. That's like I think five units I won there.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, it was dope.
That's a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
Then that led us into the Jaguars game, which I was hyped for. I know all my buddies here in Jax were like so excited to be able to go to a home playoff game, which is something my Detroit Lions have only done once more than the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise has in the 30-ish years the Jags have been a franchise versus the 100 plus the Lions have. So I thought that was pretty sad.
It is. It is sad.
And that game started pretty sad. It was like the Chargers got out to a 27-0 lead before the Jags got a touchdown before the half. I was talking to one of my coworkers today, and he was like, he was this close to leaving at halftime. And he's like, if they don't score here, we're leaving.
Is he a Kings fan?
Well, he's like 65, so like he is way past his bedtime. But then the second,
it was past my bedtime that night. But luckily we had some Red Bulls in the fridge.
Yeah.
That game, I don't know if you recall watching this, Al, but we were sitting there, and I was lazy as shit after a full day of golf and drinking, and I didn't have my phone in my hand. But I know that the live line got all the way up to, I believe it was plus 3,500 at some point in the first half.
Oh, I saw for sure a plus 1,400 at one point.
I'm sure I didn't see it. I didn't see it because I know that it could have been 23 points that I would have gotten. And you had told me that it was 23, and I said, I think I want to take it. And you go, no, you shouldn't. And I was like, if I had my phone in my hand, I would have bet that. But since you said I shouldn't, I'm not going to get up and get my phone. So I didn't have conviction. But if I were just there, I probably would have bet my entire account on plus 23 and made some money.
Somehow saying this is Al's fault?
No, I'm just saying that this was how you make live bets when you're hammered, and you probably should be a more disciplined gambler like Andy.
Oh.
Where's the fun in that?
No, we had a blast.
That
It
one
was
would
so
have
fun
covered
watching him come back, man.
very
Just
easily.
watching him come back. Trevor Lawrence going from throwing every pass to Asante Samuel to throwing every pass to what's his face?
Christian Kirk, Zay Jones,
Jones. I always want to call him
Evan
Marvin
Ingram.
Jones. Marvin Jones
Yeah.
is on the team, but
Yeah.
Marvin Jones had a
Zay's the one that
touchdown?
he throws to.
Yeah, they literally could not fail on a single drive and could not give up more than a field goal. And lo and behold, that is what they did.
He scored on every drive in the second half.
Plus, you got a Joey Bosa throwing a tantrum. That was great.
Oh my gosh!
I love to see racists get mad.
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Like, because I saw the ref actually chase him down, like being like, "Would you say it again?" And then he did, and that was like the first one. So he must have said something really bad to that ref.
Yeah, probably.
If it was anything like his brother's girlfriend, we can all guess on what it was.
Yeah,
I probably don't have to. Yeah.
The second one, the second unsportsmanlike conduct he got was at the 2-point conversion, and he didn't get thrown out of the game. And I thought that was kind of like the deal.
Apparently, like the unsportsmanlike conduct has to be done toward either a player or official. And so if you're just throwing a tantrum and pooping your pants on the sideline by yourself, it doesn't warrant an ejection or doesn't apply to that situation. But I thought they should include it, even if it's just a Bosa clause, just for a Bosa who gets too unsportsmanlike, they get tossed. Make a special for him. I'm good with that.
I would have liked that.
I saw Trevor took some of his.
He also removed his helmet on the field, though, which is also a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So they were like looking for a reason not to throw the star out of the game there.
Yeah. I saw Trevor Lawrence took some of his teammates to Waffle House after the game, which was that always makes me happy. Makes me know he's a real one,
He's a real college bro.
I'm pretty sure he said he got a cheesesteak, hash browns, and a pecan waffle, and I'm like, that's a fucking solid.
If you don't get hash browns covered and smothered when you're at Waffle House, you're not doing it right.
I do covered and chunked. I don't do covered and smothered.
Oh, really?
Covered, smothered, and chunked. Actually, all the way is the way too. You ever do it that way?
I've never done all the way. I have done covered, smothered, and chunked though. Yeah,
it's like a $15 order of hash browns, and it's so good.
All the way is like what you do like on a bachelor party, like on the last morning of the bachelor party when you're like flying home, you can barely move.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta wait till you like get home. Yeah, and then you it's like when you don't feel like living that day.
Yeah, you're tapping out. But damn, it's good. The next game, so that was.
You ever get waffles at Waffle House?
I don't think I'm embarrassed to say I don't think I've ever gotten a waffle.
First time I went, I got a waffle at Waffle House. It's fine. It's fine. It comes out like it's like a circular. It's like a circular waffle. It looks almost like a slightly bigger Eggo, but it's like super fresh. It's like super fresh and delicious.
It's not like crispy though, like your traditional Belgian waffle, right?
No, it's not crispy, but it's good. It's good. Yeah. They got maple syrup there. It's good. Waffle House, man. It's a Waffle House commercial we're doing here.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a point to get a waffle next time I'm at Waffle House.
Also you can order a waffle sandwich. It's not listed on the menu, but it's like a grilled ham and cheese between two waffles. And they smash that down.
So their one waffle comes. It's like a big circle. And it has 4 sections. So they probably like use that one waffle and then cut it into 4s and then use those as bread for like the 2 halves of.
Danny, you've got it exactly right.
Yeah.
Well done.
I've never done the waffle sandwich, but that sounds delicious, and I want to do it
now. Instead, let's talk about Dolphins Bills.
You know what? This is what I'll say about this game. This was like all I could have hoped for. All I could have hoped for as a Dolphins fan. Like going into this game, congratulations to Matt's daughter. We were at the baptism during this. We did not get to watch the first half or most of the first half. And we're there, and like after the ceremony, I pop up on my phone. Like after I was watching it during, I was like Godfather behind him, like with the phone up, pretending I'm taking pictures, but really watching the game. We're down 14-0. by the time we get to the house, it's 17-0, and just watching the Dolphins find a way to come back. Defensive touchdowns, long special teams plays, just kicking field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal. It was fun. It was fun, man. Just finding a way to stay in the game.
I think it was like 14-0, because I was driving back and I was listening to it on the way, and I was pretty sure it was like 21-0. And then I checked the score when I stopped to get gas, and it's 17-6, and I'm like, I must have missed something. And then the Dolphins, yeah, like you said, kept kicking field goals, and all I could think was that Simpsons episode where Homer's like, "You don't win games with field goals. You don't win games with field goals." And but
We could have,
I'll
though,
be
man.
damned. I'll be damned if the Dolphins didn't stay in that game the entire time. So
we were there.
despite
We were there at 24-21, I think. 24-21.
yeah,
We were up.
despite starting Skylar Thompson, who literally strikes fear into the heart of no man, and Mike McDaniel waiting until 5 seconds left on the play clock every single play to get his call in. I don't know what was going
The
on.
thing
They
is,
were
if
up
you got the
against
play
it.
call in too soon, then there was more time for the offensive line to false start.
That's the fear, huh? So you gotta get it in and rush over to the line and they go, oh shit, it's not first down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, turning that 4th and 1 into a 4th and 6 and then not converting it essentially cost them the game. But I think they put up an admirable showing in that one. I think a lot of people had that one pegged as a blowout.
That might have been strategic, Al, because all season we've been better on 4th and 6 than we are on 4th and 3 and in. That's true.
Yeah.
Between 3 and on 3rd and 4th down, we're better between 3 and 7 yards than we are between 1 and 3. That's weird. I mean, of course, we had Tua playing for a lot of those.
Yeah,
So that
I think Skylar Thompson would have preferred to have had to get 1 yard on that one, but yeah.
Yeah. Our offensive line wasn't going to move their defensive line, though. So
speaking of failures on 4th downs, the Vikings blew it against the Giants, and it made me feel so good. I'm such a Kirk Cousins hater.
I'm the opposite. I love Kirk Cousins.
I mean, not even like a hater, like on a really like strong level. It's more just like this season, particularly like a 13-win Vikings team where they finished the regular season with a negative point differential. Like I've never seen such a fraudulent team in all my life. And then to see this season end on a 4th and 7 where Kirk Cousins throws a 3-yard out route to their tight end. Oh, I was like, that's flashbacks. Josh Dobbs the week before.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's like practice squad shit.
Well, they did run a route there, and sometimes those routes work. So it was probably better than just throwing it up a prayer, right? Like, is the tight end more likely to break a tackle and make the play, or is just throwing it up to a guy who's like double covered more likely?
To quote Kanye West, I guess we'll never know. Yeah, I mean, I think the NFL really did the Vikings a disservice. They really handicapped Kirk Cousins by putting him in a 4:00 time slot instead of the
1:00
time slot. Really.
So Kirk Cousins, his record. I mean, the playoffs, the time slot doesn't really matter for him. It's prime time in playoff games. His record is abysmal.
Oh yeah, he's like 3-53 or something. 3-50 as a starter in prime time.
He hasn't played that many games, but yes,
in prime time. Literally, I saw a stat. I'm pretty sure
it's not like 50. It's like 3-25 or something. He hasn't played 55 prime time in playoff games.
I don't know. He was in the NFC East for a long time. Literally every game they play is in a primetime slot.
Yeah, but he was on he was on the Redskins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't play a lot of primetime games when he was there.
Pretty sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. So then we got a couple more games. We're almost there. The Bengals Ravens game. So the wild finish there, which I'll get to in a second, really made my day because I had Bengals -6.5, which I gave out here as not as my Chuggy bet, but as a bet on the podcast last week. Then I also had the Ravens teased to 10. So I was
Ooh.
really looking for a Bengals win by 7, 8, or 9. And so that game's tied with the Ravens driving to score, at the goal line. And Huntley extends the ball, reaching for the goal line, and gets stripped from him, and they return it at 98 yards for a touchdown. And that's the difference. The Bengals win by 7. I hit all my bets. Pretty
Yeah, because
pretty
if
brutal
they don't
ending for the
return that
Ravens.
for a touchdown, Burrow's going to get him a field goal and win that game, right? If the Ravens don't get any
Ooh,
points there, Burrow's
it
going to get
could
him a
be.
field goal and win that game, and then you don't win that bet, but you win only your plus money
Yeah.
bet. So that was a
I
nice way for that to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
So I've been Bengals aren't my team, but I've been like riding that wave all season. I like the team. I like the squad they have over there. They didn't play as well as I thought they were going to. I did take them as my chuggy bet, and I did win. But their offense wasn't, it wasn't on fire like it normally is.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Burrow throw for like 300 yards. He only threw for 200. We're used to seeing 2 or 3 touchdowns. He only threw for 1, but he did also run for 1. He didn't turn the ball over. I mean, Burrow played a really tough defense, and sometimes you have to be a game manager against those tough defenses to win the game, and that's what he did.
I think it was totally their defense.
I think it's what you get in a third round matchup. Like third time around facing an opponent.
But it just sucks to see it go like that for the Ravens. Like if you put Lamar Jackson in there, they win. But
for sure they do.
Well, that specific game, if the defense plays exactly that way against the Bengals, but if they're up a bunch, they might gamble a little more. And I mean Jamar Chase had a good game, even considering. So
that's what J.K. Dobbins said in the post game interview. Of all the things he was talking about, the situations in which he was getting the ball and how he wishes he got the ball more, or something to that effect. And then they asked him about Lamar, and he was like, "We would have won this game if we had Lamar." Sounded to me like it was more like a dig at Lamar, and that he's probably healthy enough to play, but made a business decision to not play.
They made a business decision to not pay him, so why would he play?
That's what I'm saying. But so I don't fault him for it, because what is he going to do? Go out there, put a brace on his knee, and tear his ACL, and then never sign a big contract again like RG3? So I wouldn't do it. But that's what you do when you don't pay your stars.
So he's what, like 4 or 5 years into his career? He's only made like 35 million or something. I mean, only 35 million, but still, he hasn't gotten his $200 million contract of a quarterback of his caliber yet. So he needs to, that they offered last year that he said no to, because he thought he should get the $300 million contract. But if I were him, I would just sign that $200 million offer now.
Yeah, well, it's because the massage tickler went and got fully guaranteed contract, and everyone's saying, well, if they're paying this guy all this money, somebody should pay me that money. But
somebody will. It won't be the Ravens, but somebody will.
Well,
it'll be the Jets.
Honestly,
it'll be the Jets, exactly. But then he's gonna have to pay like 2/3 of it in taxes.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the Jets. I hope Derek Carr doesn't go to the Jets. I mean, I like both those guys, and the Jets.
Carr's going to the Jets.
Yeah, I know. We kind of talked about it last night.
Yeah.
But where is Lamar going to end up? Do you see him in Miami?
No, I think Miami's sticking with Tua. I would like to see him in Miami. I wanted to see him in Miami this year, but I think we're sticking with Tua, man. I
think you should stick with Tua. I think it just comes down to there's probably going to be some talks with Tua at the end of the season. Like, can he handle playing? He got what, 3 or 4 concussions this season?
I think you definitely need to bring in a backup who is capable of starting and winning games for you. If you're
Lamar Jackson ain't that guy. Lamar Jackson's
a starter. Jackson. It would be like a Gardner Minshew or something like that. That you bring in a guy who has won, a Taylor Heineke, someone who has won games. and still doesn't have an opportunity to win elsewhere.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ooh, sassy.
Then
Baker
who
Mayfield.
goes to the I like that one.
I like that too.
Who's going to Tennessee?
They just picked Malik Willis, so they're probably not.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to want him to start sooner or later.
Well, yeah, but then like they started him 2 games and then they sat him and went out and got Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah,
I guess that's a good point, but I don't think Tannehill's in their long term plans anymore. I could be wrong.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they like re-signed him for a year or 2 and let Malik Willis sit a little longer. But
also, Tannehill doesn't get those $40 million contracts, so he's a pretty good value quarterback. Like at $20 million or $25 million or whatever they pay him, it's pretty good value for what you get out of him at quarterback.
But another good landing spot for Lamar might be New Orleans because they need a quarterback, and yeah.
Honestly, him and what's their tight end that plays quarterback's name? Him and Taysom Hill in a backfield. That's interesting. That's an interesting thing to think about.
I'm not sure it'd be so effective.
Yeah. So then there's one more game that we'll touch on here. It's our dear, lovely touchdown Tom Brady, getting the doors blown off him at home as a favorite against the Dallas Cowboys, who literally just kicked his dick in the dirt. It was lovely to see. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts.
I wish I could have covered my teaser.
Yeah, I wish the books would have covered financially speaking.
But I'm very happy. I'm very happy with those 4 mixed extra points because I had under 45.5. All you had to do is make one of those 4 extra points, and I'm out. They hit the over.
Yeah, it's outrageous. I was watching that game, and I'm like, this guy just missed his second extra point. I've never seen a kicker miss 3 extra points in a row, and then they trot him out there for the third one. I'm like,
so
nah.
I think we saw the New Orleans kicker do it once, like a long time ago, but like 2 of them were blocked.
Yeah, not just straight up misses.
This guy straight up shanked all 4.
Yeah, I mean 1 was close, but yeah.
So then, I went on to try to bet some player pop.
I was like, go ahead.
I was trying to, bet that he would miss that third one. I wanted to see what the odds were, and he was locked out for the entire game, the rest of it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, like I couldn't bet anything on Dallas's kicker, but it was
you should have just called me. I would have given you whatever odds you wanted. He wouldn't miss another one.
Yeah. I think the third one was the one that shocked me the most because after that I was like, and then he missed the fourth one. I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. This guy's just shook. But the third one, I was like, okay,
or bought.
Like,
shook or bought.
Yeah, shook or bought. Either way, it's a money in your pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was watching Tom Brady throw these awful passes that it looked like he wanted nothing to do with being on that field last night. It was a truly pathetic performance from.
There was one where he started yelling at himself, like he used to yell at his offensive line, where there was a guy coming at him, but he wasn't really at him yet, and he didn't really get hit. His tight end came open over the middle, and he threw it, and it was like 10 yards short of him.
Yeah, and it like dinked down into the ground, and it was a big window.
It was a huge window.
Much bigger window than the one you said Baker Mayfield had a huge window on, but it was actually a really tight window throw.
No, Dugan. Max.
Oh, yeah, Max Duggan, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Tom Brady is washed. He's very not good anymore. His heart's not in it. I think is probably the biggest thing.
Oh, his heart was in it, dude. That dude was mad at himself. He's better than that, I think.
Did you see him slide tackle the defender? I guess he threw a pick, or I don't know if it was.
Well, he's a sore loser, and if you think about it, when has he ever had a chance to learn how to lose?
Never, ever. Maybe Michigan on the bench or something.
Maybe I don't know. Was he bad in high school?
He's a spoiled brat. He probably went to like fucking what's the big great football high school in California? Mater D or no, that's not the one.
Did he go to IMG Academy?
Yeah, basically. The 1987 equivalent, probably. So anyway, it was worth losing all my bets on the Bucks to watch Tom Brady just fully collapse into a shell of himself.
So
Um,
there must have been people who just like bet every over on a parlay that made Vegas pay that kicker to miss every extra point. They just said you're missing every kick.
was that the only game that didn't go over this
The
weekend?
only game that didn't go over. So after the Dolphins game, I was over at Matt's house and I was like, dude, in the wild card round, unders hit like 60% of the time. We should really like round robin these last three.
Yeah.
That didn't hit.
Nope.
So I think the Ravens one was close, but when it was like 41,
Yeah.
it was 40, and it got to 41.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was hoping for hold the Ravens to a field goal there, and then Burrow not come back and win. But sure enough,
So let's do some compliment sandwiches if you guys don't mind, because I find those to be incredibly fun, and we've got some more teams to memorialize. So I'm just gonna throw a couple of cities to each of you guys, and you guys give me your best compliment sandwich. So Danny, it seems only right that you
why don't we
compliment
give them
sandwich.
out to everybody so we can have a second to prepare? So
Sure.
I'll do Miami, and then give everybody's out now so we can think about it while we're doing
Yeah.
the other ones.
Yeah. You do Miami and Tampa. How about that? Or
Okay.
Chris, do you want Tampa?
He can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
So Danny, get Miami and Tampa. Chris, you will take Baltimore and LA. How's that?
I'm fine with that.
And then I'll take
All right.
Minnesota
All
and
right, yeah.
Seattle.
I
Cool.
do just want to add that my own personal thought is that losing to Atlanta was probably the for the first time was probably the straw that broke Tommy's back there.
Yeah.
It could be, or the divorce.
Maybe, but I think it was
maybe
Atlanta.
Giselle really is a witch. I think Matt mentioned that theory.
Oh, maybe.
Oh. So Danny, hit us with your Dolphins in memoriam, please.
Miami, you are an excellent city. Great weather, great beaches, just great all around place to live. I love it. I love living down here. It's awesome. You have handled the concussion situation terribly. I think your coach got fired that was in charge. Your doctor got fired that was in charge of stopping two of them getting concussions. The next doctor that came in got him two more concussions. Like, come on, Miami, that was bad. And then somehow you guys still made the playoffs and stayed with the Bills. So that was awesome. You guys good job. Also, Mike McDaniel is very funny. You get two pieces of bread on the back end.
Yeah. Oh, that's a building block here. I'm going to tackle let's see. Minnesota, the state, the Great White North. So the state of Minnesota, it seems like really nice, genuine people come from Minnesota. The accent is delightful in my opinion. The Vikings color scheme, purple and gold, is stupid as hell. Kirk Cousins is dumb, and they're bad at football, and they're lucky, and they're little shits, and I hate them. And also, they've got lots of lakes. Seems like a nice place. So that's my Minnesota compliment sandwich.
All right, Chris, who do you want to start with?
Yeah, you want to hit us with your Baltimore or your LA? Which one do you want to go with here?
I'm gonna start with Baltimore. I just have to fact check something real quick. All right, I'm in. Yeah. So Baltimore. Yeah. Crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does.
That's right. Were you just fact checking that Baltimore was in Maryland?
No. Oh, yeah. It was I feel like 10-7 going in there, 10-7, solid record. Your defense held up strong all season. Your quarterback was out for the end of the season, and that really probably didn't do you well. But Crab cakes and football. And thank you for Natty
Oh,
Bo.
baby. Natty Bo, that's a good beer. I don't mind. It's an easy drinker. It would be a popular beer among this crowd. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
easy chugger. Danny, you want to tackle Tampa?
Yeah, I will. Tampa. This isn't part of the sandwich, but thank you for Hilo, Cigar City.
Thank you,
yeah.
Cigar City, in general, for all of your beers.
Yeah, they have a great selection. So Tampa, another one. Great weather, great fishing on the West Coast over near Tampa. The flats out there, awesome. So you stuck with Tom Brady too long. That wasn't really a great idea. I mean, he got you a Super Bowl, and then he got you to the playoffs, and now he got you to the playoffs again, and now I think maybe it's time to go. You probably shouldn't have let him kick out Bruce Arians. I mean,
yeah,
it's probably time to move on there. And then back into the compliment sandwich. Let's see here. I probably should have stuck with I had another one, but I probably should have just stuck with the high-low. I forgot it.
It's okay. The housing market is fine.
If I think of it during one of yours, I'll say it, but who cares?
Was that a open compliment sandwich?
Yeah, open face.
Open face compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
No, I had something to close with, and I forgot it. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. You did great. I saw somebody compare the Tampa Bay quarterback situation now to essentially Tom Brady hijacking a flight and just taking it straight
I remembered
up.
it.
And then, go ahead. What was it?
Your pirate ship in your stadium is the best stadium feature in all of sports. It's awesome.
R.I.P. Mike Leach.
Yes.
But yeah, they compared it to Tom Brady hijacking a plane, taking it nose up all the way as high as it goes, and then jumping out with the only parachute. And now it's the people left in charge are supposed to pull this thing out of a nosedive, and it's all a bunch of chickens with their head cut off, and they're not going to be able to do it. And that's what that's the risk you run when you.
It's like with the NBA when you let LeBron James on your team.
Yeah.
When you let LeBron James on your team for a couple years, it's gonna suck once he's gone. But when he's there, you got a shot at the title.
Yeah, people are gonna show up to watch him play regardless.
Yeah.
So let me tackle Seattle. Ooh, Seattle. I like the thing they do where they toss the fish at the market and they catch the fish. That's pretty fun. The 12th man gimmick.
I think they do that at every fish market.
Yeah.
It's not just Seattle, but yeah.
The 12th man gimmick is the worst thing in sports. I hate it. You guys are not that loud. It's the stadium probably pumps in artificial noise. But I like the loud colors. You guys do have that neon green and the navy. It's a good combo. And fuck you very much for eliminating the Detroit Lions in week 8.
Yeah. So I don't want to interrupt too much here and talk about some live stuff, but Tiafo came out in this dope outfit. Looks like he's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, he looks awesome, and he's playing this Asian dude, and he's just so much bigger than him.
At the Australian Open.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. He was minus 40,000 or something in this match, so I didn't bet it. I didn't even include it in the parlay, so it was useless. But I wish I would have just bet the set line right now.
I didn't know Tiafo was a big guy. I thought he was
Tiafo is a strong guy, and he's in. I think a lot of the American tennis players are tall. We have one or two that are average height, but most of the American tennis players are fairly tall. So.
Yeah. Sweet. I want to pull it up and compare.
I've wanted him to ever since he was 20 to be the next American tennis player, and it's not him right now. I mean, he is awesome. I think he's top 10 or he's top 15 ranked. But it's what's the other guy's name? I'll look it up later. Isner's fallen off, but it's Francis. I'll look it up.
Francis Scott Key.
That's it. Yeah.
Taylor Fritz. It's Taylor Fritz.
Okay.
And he has a shot at winning the Australian Open. He's playing really well right now.
Nice. Chris, bring home the compliment sandwich deal here with LA. Memorialize the Chargers for me, if you would.
Oh, LA. What a
I love
beautiful,
LA. Randy
yes,
Newman.
beautiful city. Great place, great weather, just like what Danny was saying about Miami. Terrible traffic, but a great place. Too many football teams. Really, too many football teams.
Yeah, not enough fans.
Do you have enough fans to require 2 football teams?
No, they do not.
Really, four football teams because they have 2 major college football teams
Yeah, and
Oh,
also, well,
that don't have enough fans to support them at those schools.
yeah, you seem to have a football problem, and it's, it's not that you win too
it's
much.
rude.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
really is.
Like,
But
why aren't you letting one of those teams play in Oakland?
Yeah.
Like, the
I'm
Chargers should have gone to Vegas, and the
Honestly,
Raiders should be in Oakland.
They should go to like Oklahoma City or something. Get them out of
Dude,
California.
Oklahoma
Too
City's
many.
got some good fans, but I don't know if there's enough of people in Oklahoma City to support an NFL team.
what
Yeah,
was
I mean
what was the
Jacksonville
problem
has
with
teams.
San Diego?
Nobody went to the games. That's why they that's why they left.
Nobody goes to the games now. But
I
LA,
know.
great
So
place to visit.
LA, like Miami, is a very transient town, so you get a lot of away fans there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did it. I think we did it. Compliment sandwich. Another one in the books. It's good. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on regarding the last week's games? I think we hit all of it pretty thoroughly.
I think
I
we
had
also hit on this first one on our list. Is Brady washed? I think the answer is
yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
I've been the one who's been out here going, don't do it. Playing the Stugatz game. Don't do it. I care about you. Every time Matt says it, I think Brady's washed. But I think it might be time for
Yeah.
him to. He's like 46.
Yeah.
You know what he should do? He should go to Miami to be their backup quarterback.
I mean, he doesn't have Giselle to support him anymore, so he's gonna need to make some
I
more
don't
money.
think he has the ego to the right ego to sit on the bench behind somebody.
That's really easily done. He's like a quarterback coach or consultant, if you will. Stroke his ego. He's the best of all time, and we want him to train the next best of all time.
Hire him to be the quarterback's coach for Tua, but then as soon as Tua gets hurt, activate him.
Bingo.
Manchurian Candidate style, where he takes Tua out and then also steps in as the starter.
Oh man, he'll just hit him on the head with a hammer.
Yeah. Oh God, it's a bloodbath.
Uh,
So one thing I forgot to do is recap last week's picks. So I'm just going to do that real quick because
we
I think
don't have
Chris.
to.
Well, I think Chris has a Chucky bet to give out, and he actually won. So myself and Andy and Danny all went 500, 2-2, 2-2, and 4-4. Danny and I won our Chucky bets. Matt,
if Tampa Bay
was
had covered that 9, I would have been like 7-1, something like that.
So yeah, that one cost you. Matt got skunked 0-4, but Chris went 2-1 and won his Chucky bet, so he's the winner this week. He gets to pass out 2. Danny and I each get to pass out 1. There's only 3 of us here. So that said, why don't we all just chug a beer real quick? How do we feel? Cheers.
Ooh, rough week by Matto.
Yeah. Skunko. This week feels like one where I'm kind of throwing caution to the wind and just throwing out some bets that I like without really trying to be smart about it, but we'll see how things shake out.
What's it like to gamble like me?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun right now. It's not usually a lot of fun come kickoff, but sometimes it is.
Well, the best thing about gambling like me is that come kickoff, you just can live bet it either the side that you thought you liked or the other side once it happens.
Yeah. Oh.
If you don't have your TV on, you gotta put this Tennis Master on. Tiafo looks so dope right now.
I'm not in front of it, but
I'll send you a picture later.
Do it. So a couple points I wanted to touch base on what we're looking at this week. So we still have 3 NFC East teams alive in the NFC when there's only 4 teams left, and that just makes me sad. I don't like it. Like, I don't think the Giants are particularly good. The Eagles are good. The Cowboys, I didn't think were good until they just looked really good last week, but I'm ready
Cowboys were
for
good all year. Cowboys have the
I'm
best
ready
pass
for
rush in the NFL. They have a good quarterback. They have 2 good running backs. They got CeeDee Lamb.
I want them all to lose.
The Giants, it turns. I mean, they have Saquon Barkley, so you know they're always going to be like in a game, right? Because
Do you not mind seeing a bunch of NFC East teams on your TV all the time, or is it just a me thing?
Doesn't really bother me. I like those teams. I guess this year they've been entertaining. The Giants in particular have been entertaining because I keep thinking that they're not good, and they keep proving me wrong. Like all year, I've been saying they're the worst 7-1 team that I've ever seen. Shit like
well,
that.
they did finish like what 9-7 or 10-6.
I don't know if they were actually 7-1. It was probably 5-1 or something, but still,
no, they were. I think they were 7-1 at one point, so they didn't finish well. But
But Daniel Jones is turning out to be like a real quarterback and not just a runner.
He looked phenomenal last week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's actually phenomenal, but he can play those games. He's shown he can play those games now.
And then we finally get to see Cincinnati and Buffalo play. Hopefully, a whole game this time, since the Damar Hamlin injury that cut that matchup short. I'm excited to see how that one shakes out because Cincinnati looked like they were in control of that game from the jump, and Buffalo, I'm sure there was a lot of time left, so Buffalo had plenty of time to come back and
there was like
and,
8
make
minutes
that
left
thing
in the
look
first
silly.
quarter, bud.
Yeah, but I mean, Cincinnati went right down or they stopped Buffalo right away, and then they drove down and scored, and then Buffalo, I think, got a field goal or something, and then Cincinnati was driving to score again. So it looked like Cincy had Buffalo's defense figured out, and Buffalo was slow starting, which was also the case with Buffalo this past week. So I don't know. That kind of makes me think Cincy might be a play in that one, but then I also am afraid that if you read too much into that, you end up stepping into a trap. Do you guys have any thoughts on that matchup?
I'm taking Bengals +5.
Oh, you're for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also on the Bengals +5. I locked it in.
All right. Well then, shit. Let's just go ahead and do our picks. I guess we'll start on that game. That's Sunday. But it looks like the two of you are on Cincinnati +5. I don't have a play here. Andy doesn't have a play here. And Matt's in recovery, so no plays from the rest of us. But I don't hate it. 5 is a weird number to me. I don't know why. How it ends up.
It's not the danger of 4, so
no, I know it's just kind of like it's not past 4 enough to make me say I feel comfortable laying the points.
I mean, I want to take them on the money line because I think Cincinnati's going to win the Super Bowl.
Do it then. That sounds like a smarter bet than paying a little juice on it.
I mean, it's the same as 3.5 to me, right? Yeah. 5 is the same as 3.5. In my mind, 5 and 3.5 are the same number. So I'm betting the 5. Who cares?
Yeah. For the record, Cincinnati's around +185 to +195 on the money line, so you can get them almost 2-1 if you like that play.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, but not on the ChuggieBet because I can get the +5, and it still counts as one pick. If I do the money line, you guys don't give me 2 wins. So,
all right, let's go back to Saturday because that's where the divisional round kicks off. Jacksonville at Kansas City. I've got a few things I think I'm doing here. What's most fun is I'm both taking the Jags and teasing the Chiefs. So I'm hoping to hit a nice middle ground. I got Jags were +9 earlier today when I looked at the lines. I think it's only 8.5 now. So I'll let Andy when he grades this out, decide if he wants to leave it at +9 or +8.5. But I've got it marked as +9 right now.
They're all
And then
8.5 now. There's no more +9s. We always go by the podcast, so
all
I would
right,
move it to
eight
8.5. But
8.5. Jack's +8.5, and then teasing the Chiefs down to -2.5 here.
you also have to
So
move his 2 to 2.5
true.
because
Eat shit,
he
Andy.
there's no sevens available now or whatever he
Yeah.
or
8.
eights.
Yeah. So yeah. So
I
I'm
can do
looking to hit.
math.
You can. I'm looking to hit the sweet spot of a Chiefs victory between 3 and 8 points, basically. If that happens, then I'm looking good on both of these bets so far. Another one I'm keeping an eye on. I am on the fence about whether or not to pick it here. I think I'll do it because it's already moved another point. I'm gonna take under 53,
Under 53.
under 53, and lock
That's
that
all
one in
right.
too.
I could see this game getting to 30-30. But I don't. I'm not gonna mess with this total at all.
Yeah,
The thing that I do like about your under is I just don't know if the buy is always a good thing going into the playoffs.
yeah,
And KC could be rusty. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, bud?
yeah. You never know, you know. So sometimes it's good to get that time off to get healthy. I don't think that was really an issue so much for Kansas City as much as it was for the Eagles. Um,
Oh yeah.
but I do think having that time off for a team that's you know having a momentum swing. They're looking to keep things going into the playoffs. You can kind of look a
So
little rusty coming out, but
so for Kansas City, I think of them as more of like a rhythm kind of offense than I do like one of the like if you give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare, he's going to tear you apart kind of
right,
offense, right? So I kind of lean towards a little bit of rust. So I'm actually going to tease Kansas City down to 2.5 here.
okay, love it. Obviously,
I'm gonna do that with the Eagles. So I'm gonna tease both of those
yeah.
bye teams down.
I think that's what we're all doing because the Eagles are the only other team in that sort of Wong teaser range. So all of these teasers that both you and Andy and myself are giving out are basically Kansas City -2.5 and Philly -1.5.
Yeah.
So that's the move. Um, Chris, are you gonna do anything with the Chiefs on this one?
I know I was talking about it, but I think I'm going to stay away from this one. Just listen, you're right. Like they had the bye week. I was just I was going with the amount of confidence that they played against the Raiders. Like that team looked like,
Yeah,
it was disrespectful. But I do think that they win, and if they do win, and the Bengals win, they have a neutral site game. The AFC Championship will be in Atlanta.
yeah. Well, if the Chiefs win, regardless, that game is right because it was whether the Bills or Bengals meet the Chiefs. I forget what the deal
Um,
was.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think because all
Maybe.
three of them had like a potential for the 1 seed. I don't know. I might be wrong. It might just be Buffalo and Kansas City. But yeah, that would be fun if they end up coming down to Atlanta for you. Would you try and go to the game, or is that crazy?
Well, I was saying last night, I was like, I'm totally gonna do that, and Matt was like, those tickets are gonna be like $300. I was like,
They're going to be like
yeah,
$600, I bet. Yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like stupid expensive.
I'll sit at the bar outside and watch.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good move.
It's sometimes fun to go to the tailgate and not go into the game if somebody has a TV and you still feel the crowd, even though you see
Yeah,
what happens right after, but you hear the crowd while
Yeah.
it's happening. Zach, I know our buddy Zach does that for the Dolphins games all the time, and I've done it, for basically almost all of a Canes game because I like to go in after the first quarter and leave at halftime. So
yeah, that's a good move. Um, Okay, yeah, so we're all teasing the Chiefs down to 2.5, or the three of us are, and then I'm on Jags plus 8.5 and under 53. Chris and Matt are abstaining here.
So that Jags plus 8.5 you're doing, I think I'm gonna hit that on a Q1 bet. Not the lines aren't out yet, but that's something I'm going to look for because of again the rust. I think
Yeah,
that the Jags are going to be able to get out to an early lead.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I like that because there could very well be some time where the Chiefs are kind of slow to start, or
yeah.
they kind of hit their stride. I could see them actually going down and scoring a touchdown immediately on their first scripted drive, and then struggling to score like the rest of the first half, and
You're
then
also
second
going
half
to
figuring it out.
the first scripted drive because Andy Reid's really good at the scripted plays. You're also in the first quarter probably going to get Jags plus because they're underdogs for the game, so you're probably going to get like a plus 1.5 or a plus a half a point. So if it's tied at the end of the first quarter, you win, which is what I think is probably going to happen for the
Nice.
Jags being up.
Yeah.
So.
The next matchup we've got is Giants at Eagles, NFC East matchup. I think the Eagles won both of these, one by like 26 and one by like 8 or something like that. 6 points, something like that. And Jalen Hurts should be starting and healthy in this one.
I wouldn't call him healthy. But he did play in Week 18. But they didn't throw the ball a ton.
Yeah, healthy enough to play, I suppose.
He's definitely going to start. He's definitely going to play. But if one hit to the shoulder and he could get knocked out.
Yeah. Do you have any plays here, Danny?
Yeah, because of that. I do still think Philly's a better team, so I am going to include them in that teaser. But I'm also going to hedge that teaser by taking the Giants plus 7.5. Because I don't think Philly, even if they win, I'll have them at the minus 1.5, but I think they'll be in that lower win range and they won't win by more than a touchdown.
Okay.
And then if they end up losing and I lose the teaser, I'll still win on the Giants plus 7.5.
So you're doing basically what I did in the Jags Chiefs game, but in the
pretty much
Giants Eagles game.
Pretty much. And Daniel Jones has been so good. It's kind of like if I should just cool him by betting on him.
I like it. Oh. I know Andy obviously also teasing the Eagles down to 1.5 here.
Shocker, Andy doing a Wong teaser.
Yeah, and I'm doing that as well here. I've also got a couple other plays on here that I think are sort of like hedging each other. So if you're not in love with either of these plays or both of them, feel free to just pass on these two. But I'm going to lay the 7.5 with Philly. That is basically assuming we've got a fully healthy or pretty much healthy Jalen Hurts, unobstructed. What's the word I'm looking for? Unencumbered Jalen Hurts, and then the under 48.5. It's probably not likely that both of those hit unless the Giants are held to like under 20 points, which could happen, but. Yeah, that's the thought. So Eagles by 7.5, and then that takes care of the teaser as well, and then under 48.5, which is under 7 touchdowns. I can see it. Hopefully, we're settling for field goals in this one. Chris, do you want any play in this one, or are you just gonna watch a good one?
Oh well, I'm betting, hoping that it's a great one. I think that the Giants have really they've come a long way as a team this season. Daniel Jones has really developed, and I think that they're going to come out, and even if they can't win it, they're going to make it one hell of a game. And I'm hoping that I'm going to take the over 48.5.
Yeah.
So I like that over 48.5 better than I like Al's under. I'm not playing it. Just to go back to Jalen Hurts' health, he did run the ball. He played that game. He was 20 and 35 for 229 yards, no touchdowns and interception that first game back. He did run the ball nine times, but only for 13 yards. It was very It was very conservative running that they did with him, and a lot of sliding and getting out of bounds. He did get sacked 3 times, so just take for that what you will.
Yeah,
it wasn't a great game by him, but it was a very conservative game, and they did beat the Giants for the 2nd time in the season, and this is the 3rd time they're playing. So it's another reason I'm taking that hedge on the +7.5.
there you go.
So Chris, you like that over. Al likes the under 48. You like the over 48. And then the 3 of us are doing that teaser. And Al, you're trying to middle that with the -7.5.
Yeah, basically.
So I think Al's wrong basically on everything except the teaser.
Right. Yeah, sounds like we've got a little competition going this week. And then just a real quick recap, since we did this out of order a little bit. Both Chris and Danny are on Cincinnati +5 when the Bengals go to Buffalo, which is a 3:00 kick on Sunday, which is kind of odd, right?
They do the 3 and 6:30 during the second week of the playoffs. That's not unheard of.
Yeah,
it's good for West Coast folk.
I guess that makes sense. And then the final game of the divisional round is the Dallas Cowboys going out west to San Francisco, where the 49ers have home field advantage. They have looked really good lately. But I was talking to Danny before the podcast started about how the 49ers have not played any good defenses this year. I'm just pouring over the schedule. They've, of course, played the Rams twice, but that Rams defense is not the same as it has been in the past couple of years. They kind of play well when they want to.
They've been hurt,
but
too.
the one game that stands out to me as having been against an actually really good defense was when they played the Broncos, a game they lost by the score of 11-10. So the Cowboys are going to be.
Are they still trotting Darrelle Revis out there at corner? Is that right? Is it Darrelle Revis? So. It's they have one of those guys that's like used to be a shutdown corner that's clearly not anymore playing for
Richard Sherman. Maybe does he play for?
No, he no longer plays.
Oh, it's the guy from Carolina. What was his name?
Oh, Josh Norman.
Josh Norman. I think that's what they're doing.
Or was it Seattle? Oh, yeah, somebody brought him in. The Panthers. Yeah, I don't know if it's somebody on either of these teams, but I do think the Cowboys are going to be either the best or the second best defense that the 49ers have played all season.
Jalen Ramsey.
What? The Rams?
Yeah, the Rams have Jalen Ramsey.
I didn't know what team you were talking about. I was like, the 49ers? No, okay. You're talking about the Rams, yeah.
You were talking about the Rams defense being good, and I was like, they still are trotting one of those corners out there.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is a great corner. Get out of here, Danny.
Not anymore.
One of the best. Him, Asante Samuel, some of the best in the game. You know it. I know it. We all know it.
Are you just going the Florida State route here?
It must be where those guys went to college. I don't know. I don't know where they get that kind of training, but boy, are they fucking grand.
Well, you get that kind of training in Colorado now. You get that kind of training in Colorado now.
Oh, ouch.
I thought Chris was going to tell us a really underrated safety in the NFL today was Nasir Adderley. So yeah, Dallas at San Francisco. So my thought here is Dallas has a much better defense than the 49ers are used to playing. The 49ers are starting Brock Purdy at quarterback, someone who is going to have Micah Parsons in his face pretty much the entire game. So if the 49ers are not running the ball like crazy and gashing the Cowboys defense, I'm not sure how they're going to be moving the ball effectively. It's going to be a tall task for Kyle Shanahan. So that said, let me send it to Danny and get his pick on this one, and then we'll see whatever.
This is a tough one. I wanted to pick every game, so I had to make a choice. But I don't like Brock Purdy against Micah Parsons. That Dallas pass rush versus that young quarterback is going to be really tough. And as I was talking about, they have not played a pass rush like that. I mean, Aaron Donald can get to the quarterback, but not like the Dallas defensive ends. And but that does not mean that I'm picking Dallas because the rest of the team, I mean, Dak will still turn the ball over. I mean, he threw more interceptions this year than I think he ever has, at least on a per game basis, because he didn't play all the games. And San Francisco's defense will turn the ball over. They'll get the interceptions, they'll cause the fumbles, and I think that'll end up being the difference in the game, the turnover differential. Because Brock Purdy will get, I think he'll get pressured. I think they're going to coach him to either throw the ball away or take the sack, and I think he'll be better at that. And I think Dak will be overconfident and try and fit the ball into the tight windows and end up turning it over. And I think that'll be the difference. And San Fran will end up covering the 3.5.
And to his credit, Brock Purdy has risen to the occasion every time this season. He's never looked too small for a moment. So, it might be my bad expecting him to crumble under the mighty Dallas pass rush. But
no, like the pass rush will be there. They're going to get to him. It's a matter of whether or not they can coach him to either take the sack or throw it away before they get there. I have a feeling there's going to be some. I think they're going to coach him to throw it away, and he's going to end up getting some intentional grounding calls. But that's just the same as a sack that you don't get hit on.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting to see how that matchup shakes out.
Chris, I see you making faces. You got to have a thought there.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
So I think that Dallas played really good football against Tampa. I don't think that they were like phenomenal. They were good. They were absolutely good. They were better than good. And I think that Brock Purdy is definitely good. He's better than than I expected him to be. So I think that in this, I think it's going to come down to, like y'all said, Micah Parsons versus the quarterback. And I think it's going to come down to Dallas's running the game because, like we said, he's thrown Dak Prescott's thrown more interceptions this year than he has in the previous years. I want to take Dallas +5. That's just what my mind is telling me to do right now. And I think that what's the over?
46 or 46.5. So there are some books you could do over 46 if you wanted to take the over.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that over. I'm gonna take the over
instead of the Cowboys.
Instead of the Cowboys, I'm gonna take the over, and and just on the off chance that the Cowboys just go for 2 every time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just banking on Brett Maher to miss a bunch more extra points this week.
Yes.
Keep you under. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one bet, which is under 46.5. I'm going to take that as my play for this game. Danny and I were talking earlier about how Wild Card Weekend unders hit at a pretty significant clip. And almost none of the games went under last week, so out of the 6 matchups, 1 went under and 5 went over. So maybe this is a week we make up, hopefully, for some of those unders, because I'm on the under in 3 of these 4 matchups. So give me the under here as well. And then here's my spicy bet of the week. I'm taking the Cowboys on the money line. Looks like the best I can see it at currently is +170. So let's say Cowboys money line. I'll lock that one in. So that's my spicy pick for the week. And that wraps it up. That's all our picks this week. Do you guys want to pick out which one of these we're chugging beers over?
I'm going to do Cincinnati +5 for my Chuggie.
Cincinnati +5.
+5 for the Chuggies for each of you two. I will lock in, let's say, let's give the people something to root for. Let's do the Philly Kansas City teaser as my Chuggie bet.
You can just lock that in for Andy too.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Oh, also Andy is on Dallas +4 here in the last game. So Andy's on the KC Philly teaser like Danny and I are, and then he's also on Dallas +4, which is probably smarter than my money line bet. But that makes sense. Andy's a smart cookie.
All right. Throw me down for the +5. No, I mean I'm still on the over though. I still think that they can do it.
+4?
Well, I can get it at +5.
You see Dallas +5?
Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah, we'll do Dallas +4.
Okay. Yeah, Dallas +4. I'll put you in there too. Awesome. That's it. Anything else you guys have you want to cover? Or are we done for the night?
Tiafoe's up 4-2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love his outfit.
Only the first set. It's only the first set, but yeah. You turned it on. It looks so rad. It's so rad.
Danny, you want to feed us any of your Aussie Open plays or picks or thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have a lot here, because it's still early. So one thing I like to do when it's early on is wait till there's like 8 or 9 games going on at once, and then just live bet the favorites that they're like minus 5, minus 300 to minus 700 on like 8 or 9 picks, and like parlay them all together, so I can get like a plus 200 or plus 300 parlay out of a 9-pick parlay. And I hit one actually on the first night,
Nice.
and I missed by 1 on my second parlay. It was I forget which guy got upset, but it was just barely. It was on a 5th set tie break, and I ended up losing that one.
That's always
but I got 2 open right now that got suspended last night because of the rain, and then I did another one right now. But and then as far as who's going to win, which is usually an interesting conversation. If Matt were here, I'm sure we could talk about this much longer. On the women's side, Swiatek has basically been on a tear for the last year and a half. She wins almost every tournament she plays in, and when she doesn't, it's just because she's like not focused, and it's not a very interesting tournament. I expect her to roll through this tournament and not lose very many sets, at least until the quarters. And on the men's side, Tsitsipas. I never know how to say his name. Tsitsipas. You guys got any ideas how to say it? Tsitsipas. I just think this is his time to get a major. He's like 24 years old, and he's been in the top 5 for a couple of years now, and he hasn't had that like final finish. He made it to the finals, I think, last year in the U.S. Open or the French Open, and he's made it to the quarters in the Australian Open like 3 times, and I think this is the year that he gets it done. The only guy that I think could take it from him is probably the Joker, because of like his entire disaster last year with the vaccine and not being allowed to play, and he can win any tournament that he's ever in.
Was it last year or 2 years ago or both?
He did not play last year, Djokovic. So
okay. I also think
I think 2 years ago.
That's how I would say it. Tsitsipas.
Tsitsipas?
Yeah, Tsitsipas.
The T is silent.
Okay. Like Tsitsi, like a tsitsi.
We could just call him Stefanos. That's easy. Yeah, he's Greek. It's hard to. It's hard to say Greek last names. Nobody can say them. It's too many vowels. Although this one isn't a vowel problem. This one isn't a vowel problem. It's a consonants in a row problem.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna give you 3 Australian Open names, and I want you to rank them on a scale of 0 fun to 10 out of 10 fun. Okay. First name is Botic van de Zandsloop. Botic van de Zandsloop. The second name is Jeffrey John Wolf. And the third name is Casper Ruud.
All right. I'm going to go with Botic van de Zandsloop, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Casper Ruud. And number 3 is the one I forgot.
Jeffrey John Wolf. I just feel like that.
Jeffrey John Wolf. Was that a made-up name?
No, what are we ranking them in order of?
Just most to least fun, or most, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's the order that you gave it in. I mean, I got John Wolf above Ruud, but number 1 is Van Schlupen.
Botic van de Zandsloop.
Van de Sloop.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
If we're going with fun names, though, what about the Canadian? He's like a top 10 guy. Felix Auger Aliasami.
Yeah.
He's good, too.
He's clearly a fun time. Clearly.
Yeah, he's good, too. He has a shot at winning this, too.
There's so many good ones. I was just looking at the ones who are due to play. It looks like tomorrow or today. So maybe I missed
You're just looking at the lines.
Yeah. Oh, Felix Auger Aliasime, yeah, or whatever.
Aliasime. I don't know how to say any of these names. That guy's good. He's actually Aliasime. He's fun to watch, too.
Enzo Quaquad. Literally, there are no bad names in tennis. I'm getting into tennis now.
Tiafoe is like my favorite guy to watch. If you want to watch a fun guy to watch play tennis, he's kind of irreverent on the court.
Are those the soccer signs that like they make do things?
Tiafoe.
Typhoids.
Yeah. So Tiafoe's like he's not disrespectful like Kyrgios, but he's like irreverent on the court. He's awesome. I love him.
Yeah.
He's like fun and funny, and
there was some tournament recently that he did well in that I remember seeing him play in. Maybe it was Wimbledon.
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open. There you go.
It was either U.S. Open or Wimbledon, but I think it was the U.S. Open that he made it pretty far.
His serve, Tiafoe's serve is 40 kilometers faster than Chang's.
That's a lot.
Chang doesn't have a chance in this match, but it's just he's overmatched. He's young and he's overmatched.
So you're saying I should bet everything on minus 1800?
Yes. I mean, if you want to win like $8.
Yeah. That actually reminds me. Did you guys see that bet supposedly, quote unquote, it's my conspiracy theory, that somebody bet $1 million or 1.4 million on the Chargers when they were up 27-0, bet Chargers money line and to win $11,000 on the 1.4 million.
Yes,
and then the Jags won, so we lost the bet. That's my full-blown conspiracy theory. I think that's a fake bet, not real. I think
you're right.
Books put that out there to encourage people to, I don't know, bet a shit ton on heavy favorites
long shot money lines. No, long shot money lines to bet on long shot money lines.
Yeah.
So it was the U.S. Open, by the way, the Tiafoe. It was the last tournament we were watching. He also did well in the Wimbledon, though. He made it to the fourth round. So,
because it doesn't make sense for the book to like put one of their high rollers on blast, being like, "Look at this idiot's bet."
They might like make a deal with him where they're like, "Hey, if we can put you on blast for this to get people to do this, we can put your ticket out there. Not the whole bet, but like we'll give you like a $50,000 credit or something to like go play blackjack."
Oh yeah.
And the guy's probably like, "What the fuck do I care if you put my ticket out there?"
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's it. Anybody got anything else? Any parting words of wisdom?
Don't listen to fake accounts about who we hire as offensive coordinator.
Danny texted me right before the podcast. He goes, "Miami just hired Scott Frost as offensive coordinator," and then it's like ... Never mind. I just got tricked.
I just got tricked by the internet. Yeah. I was looking for topics.
Yeah, that would have been a fun one. That would have been a doozy. There's no way Scott Frost is going to be an OC, right? He's going to get a head coaching gig somewhere, just probably some small school.
Well, he could be a OC. I mean, he's a great OC. So if I were him, I would rather be an OC at a big school than a head coach at a small school.
You think?
I mean, he was really, really good at being an OC. I guess he was pretty good at being a head coach at UCF too. So
yeah,
he probably thinks he could still do it. I guess it's just different mindsets. I don't know if I would want that.
He's for sure still convinced it wasn't his fault. He's not the problem. He's a good coach.
At Nebraska? No, it's not his fault at Nebraska. It's not his fault at Nebraska. For sure, it was not his fault at Nebraska. Nobody succeeds at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Who was the last person to succeed at Nebraska? Eric Crouch?
Tom Osborne.
Yeah. And they fired him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who do you think the problem with is Nebraska? Do you think it's the coaches or the fans? Or the administration or the boosters?
Yeah, boosters.
Was it Barry Alvarez that was there before he came to Miami, right?
No, Barry Alvarez was Wisconsin. You're just
Oh,
confusing
yeah, that's right.
your red Big Ten schools.
Shocker.
All right, well, let's tie a bow on this thing. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Joey, good night.
Night, buddy.
Andy, Matt, kisses for all you boys. Bye.
Bye-bye.